Oh man, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Xbox reminds me why I have trust issues. I allowed myself to be vulnerable this last week. My couple videos, I released two videos, positive videos about Xbox. So if you look at the history of this channel, I'm very, very negative about Xbox. I feel like they're gonna crash and burn. They have no future. But it's out of love, right? If you watch those videos in full, you'll know that that's out of love because I don't know, at the end of my life, I might look back and think that the Xbox 360 was one of my favorite console generations of all time. I absolutely love the original Xbox and the Xbox 360. And it's so frustrating to see how far Xbox has fallen. And I thought they had a good showcase. Of the summer showcase, I thought they really had a good showcase. And they're making Gears of War E-Day a console exclusive. I thought that was huge. I thought that was a huge step in the right direction. I have a list of the things I want Xbox to do to make for me to buy the next Xbox and continue to just like invest and be a part of the ecosystem. And exclusive games was one of them. And I didn't think that was going to happen. And they're doing it with Gears E-Day. I was very happy with that. And they showed a little more about the Halo campaign evolved, and they showed this third person mode. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think that looks a ton of fun. And that was enough to get me to buy the game. And with the mix of it, I was trying to be very positive. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy the Halo game on Xbox. I'm gonna support Xbox. I bought a Series X for Gears and Halo, and I'm gonna play them on Xbox. And not even a week later, it literally like a couple days, not even a week later, uh, I'm back to just thinking that this company's crashed and burned. I canceled my Halo campaign evolved pre-order on Xbox, and I switched it back over to PlayStation 5 because I still want to play the third person mode, but I don't think Xbox has this future anymore. And like, why have my library tied into that? I'll still get Gears E on Xbox because it's a console exclusive now. Which again, now that seems like that was a last minute decision. Like they're just throwing these hail marys, right? They're just throwing these hail marys, right? Let's just check this out. Look at this. Microsoft already planned to shut down or split with Ninja Theory when is it Senua? I don't know how that's how you pronounce that. Was announced. So they announced this new game as part of like their showcase, which was really good. This is like the third game in like the Hellblade series, Senua. I think I played a little bit of the first one. I probably should play the first one more. It was pretty cool. I was playing a game. It was like one of those like spontaneous Game Pass nights. I just played a little bit of it. Um, I'm so distracted. Dragon Ball is trending. That's cool. I gotta check that out later. Okay, so they announced this game, right? Well, now they're already shutting down, and they knew already when they announced this game that was going to shut down. The thinking was that the promise of a newly announced game would help draw investor interest to the studio. Dude, this was exactly what I was talking about when the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was announced, the new one, and it was just like in development. It was just like a little teaser video, nothing, just in development. Like that game's not going to come out for 4 or 5 years. Like in this modern AAA studio, it's like they're not even hiding it anymore. These announcements, how do you trust them? How do you trust these announcements? They're not even real. Like this game isn't real. This was just like a teaser. It was a Hail Mary. They announced it. They try to sell the hype. They're trying to sell hype, and if it doesn't work, then like too bad, never mind. Just like with Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark wasn't getting enough hype, shut down the studio. So again, this was like a positive thing of Xbox's showcase, right? Like this is a new like Xbox IP, and like I don't know, I'm not rooting against it. So you have that. Of course, we have significant layoffs planned for July. Why not? It's just another day. Again, when I saw like the news of the layoffs, I didn't immediately jump into negative like reaction to it because it's modern AAA gaming. Their layoffs are just so common now. Layoffs isn't correlated with making console exclusives, right? Like the policy of having console exclusives. So I wasn't like totally like, oh, it's like, all right, whatever. I think PlayStation and Bungie, they're slashing half their like. It's not good. Like the whole modern gaming industry is still going down. Let's not lose sight of that. So we got layoffs, but when you stack this all together, like it's not good. So here's a two part. So we have several studios in negotiation with Xbox to spin off to help avoid closure. So these guys want out. Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, Double Fine. Many employees are going to lose their jobs, right? So they're shutting down studios. These guys, they can release a good game. They don't even get a chance. But here's the big one. Here is the big kahuna. Microsoft has considered spinning out Xbox. Well, they play new Halo and Fallout games, no kidding. As Microsoft gets ready to overhaul its struggling Xbox gaming unit, it hasn't ruled out spinning out or restructuring the unit as a wholly owned subsidiary, which can make it easier to sell or create a joint venture with other partners, according to three people with right knowledge. Okay. So literally, they're telling us right to our faces, right out there in the open, that Microsoft is considering just selling the Xbox brand. Like, okay, Xbox wouldn't even be close to being around much longer after the Xbox One launch if it wasn't for Big Daddy and Microsoft's money. They wouldn't have survived the Xbox 360 Red Ring of death, right? They need that Microsoft money, and Xbox is just so disappointing to Microsoft. Now they're thinking of selling Xbox. If they sell Xbox, it's just over. It's just over. And there's two situations. Like there's two situations I think that can happen. Let's start with the fun one. This isn't going to happen, but this would be the most positive thing that could ever happen. Is if like Sega bought Xbox. How cool. That'd be like the biggest full circle moment for gamers. You know, you have your hardcore Sega fans who always say they want a new Sega console. My argument is, how is that going to work? Like you need exclusives to sell a console, and Sega has been third party for over 25 years. That would be just that'd be so weird to just pull and be like, oh, we're making our own hardware. They're all exclusive now. I mean, if they like bought Xbox and bought that hardware, because the original Xbox always felt like it was like the Dreamcast, like the sequel to what the Dreamcast always should have been, right? So in a way, you can almost like chain the whole Xbox line of consoles to Sega with their line of consoles, like branching it at the Dreamcast and the original Xbox. It'd be so interesting. And then like you have all of Xbox's IP that they've like gathered up that they haven't sold off yet or shut down. You have all those IP if they sell that to Sega mixed with Sega's IP. You bring that all, make it console exclusive. I mean, you would have to buy this console because there'd be so many good games and so many IP exclusively available on this console, right? But it'll never happen because Xbox and all that, like, you know, with the Activision, Blizzard, the ZeniMax, it's too big. It's going to cost way too much money for someone like Sega to be able to purchase Xbox. So that's never gonna happen. That's like a fun future, but you know the future's not fun. The future's full of layoffs and higher prices and all that. What I think is gonna happen if Microsoft sells Xbox, the only people who would be able to afford to buy Xbox and who would want to buy Xbox would be one of the other Magnificent Seven tech companies, right? And most specifically, it would be either Meta, Amazon, or Google. And like, can you just imagine that Meta, you know, Facebook, Amazon, or Google buying Xbox? The Meta Xbox, the Amazon Xbox, the Google Xbox. These companies have tried to break into the gaming industry, but they can't. Like there's not enough room for, you know, a fourth or fifth if you count like PC and Steam. There's not room for another just brand out there. And they've tried with like the Meta Quest, they tried with Google Stadia, they tried with Amazon Luna, and they've just never really been able to do it. They want to. They've all expressed interest in getting into gaming, and they see the value in pursuing that, but they haven't been able. The biggest problem is getting a brand to break in. And at this point, the easiest way for them, any of those three, to want to give it another swing is to buy Xbox. And like, can you just imagine Mark Zuckerberg showing up in like a video saying like, we decided to purchase Xbox and we're going to make gaming more connected to everybody, and just like all this BS. And if that happens, if Microsoft sells Xbox, I bet you anything it's going to be one of those three companies. And I don't want my library tied with that. Like, that's done. It's done. It won't happen. If it gets by Google, it'll just be shut down within like 3 or 4 years. Meta and Facebook, you're gonna have to make a Meta account with the Xbox, and there's gonna be just ads everywhere. Horrible. Amazon, again, it's gonna be ads everywhere. These companies are just gonna treat it as a tech company, as like a social app, and I don't know, it's gonna be horrible. And I'm gonna buy Halo Campaign Evolved on PS5 because if they're telling us that they're considering selling Xbox, we had a great showcase. Some of it wasn't even real. They're probably just gonna end up shutting down all these studios. Like, it's good PR. They're showing face. They're just doing these Hail Marys, right? Gears of War E-Day being exclusive doesn't seem like this strategic like path forward anymore that I initially thought. It sounds like they're just throwing crap at the wall and just seeing like if they can just get any big moves, like making it a console exclusive just generate enough hype and people buy Xboxes, and then like we're back. Or can it get investors interested, like the Senua or whatever that's called? game. It I don't know, man. It's just like they take one step forward and not even two steps back, dude. They take five steps back. It's just I can't trust Xbox, and like I wanted to. I want every time I talk about like game key cards are inevitable, right? That's one of my favorite topics. Talk about game key cards. Everyone's like, "Oh, well, no, don't buy game key cards." And I'm just like, "It's if you don't buy game key cards, it's just going to be digital only. They're never going to go full physical." And people tell me how negative that sounds, and it's like you don't believe in changing the future. How sad and depressing that is. But then I make like positive Xbox videos, and then they're like, "It's not happening." And it's just like, man, I tried. I tried and like I felt it after that showcase. I saw this like future, this vision, and then just like not even days later, like if this happened like months later, I like wouldn't have been surprised, but days later, it just they're just crashing and burning, and it's so sad, man. I'll play Gears E-Day. I want to play this third person Halo, but you know what? At this point, are they even gonna like be around to fit? If they do try to remake the entire like original Halo trilogy, are they gonna be around to finish it off? Like, I don't know. I think if Gears of War E-Day doesn't sell well enough, which now it's a console exclusive, so now it probably won't sell enough. And I don't know what their timeline and their just I don't know what their standards are for selling enough because everyone thought Hi-Fi Rush was like this like banger game, but it wasn't good enough, and they shut that down. I don't know if Coalition's gonna happen. You know what sucks is Gears of War is one of my favorite franchises ever, and like we're probably never gonna see Gears of War 6. It's just probably not gonna happen, and that's just so sad, man. Like I don't know, they're done, and I've made videos of how I'm not gonna invest into their library anymore. I thought I would maybe change that for just the games that were specifically felt like they should be for Xbox, your Gears, your Halo, your Fable. But nope, canceled my Halo pre-order for Xbox, switched that to PS5. And I don't know. I was thinking about maybe giving the Fable a chance, but now it's like definitely gonna wait till that's on steep clearance. I don't. Who even needs a physical Xbox Series X collection? Like, what's that gonna do for me in the future? And even the Halo, it's like it requires a download, and 20 years from now, there's a way better chance that the PlayStation Store is still up, albeit if it hasn't been hacked to death by then. That I can I can download the game off of my game key disc than the Xbox Store still being around. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? Subscribe or something. Like the video, whatever. Xbox is. I can't handle this, man. It's ridiculous. What a roller coaster. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.